Yeah, I think we got, 3 more days before we can all at least throw our feet up for a day or so.
Unless you're cooking, but...
Yes, unless you're cooking. But presumably if you are cooking, it's for fewer people. So
yeah.
maybe some birds will be spared this year. One way to think about it. Anyway, it was a busy week last week with some big decisions and things that will have big implications for the county. The New York State Supreme Court approved the $45.5 million sale of the Nyack College campus. That doesn't mean that the sale is completed. It just means that the Nyack College had to seek, being a charity, it had to seek approval from the Attorney General's office and the courts, and they got that approval. And they now have 90 days to submit a closing to the Attorney General's office. So we will see how this progresses. We will see if the yeshiva Visnitz becomes the newest neighbor of South Nyack, and we will see if there's more to this, or if that's all there is to this. So definitely a story that is spurring much interest, and all eyes are waiting to see what is going to happen up on that campus. Right now, if from what we know, or what we think we know, there are plans to operate a religious school for between 250 to 500 students who are going to be coming from all around, from Rockland and all around the Hudson Valley, from this group, this congregation. But it still remains unclear, as to whether there's more to this than meets the eye. In the meantime, and not unrelated to this, there is an effort underway in South Nyack to potentially incorporate into the larger town of Orangetown. And I raised that issue because the consultancy that had been hired by the village is going to present its plans tomorrow night at their village board Zoom meeting, and I guess that report will show reasons. It will show the impact, positive and negative, of the village choosing to separate, or rather to lose its autonomy and potentially incorporate into the larger town. And something interesting and came up by way of this, and a contrast that doesn't have to do with what I'm talking about, but rather what has to do with voting. We also covered a story last week about the school district, the Nyack School District, wanting to purchase a commercial site adjacent to its high school, and that purchase involves or requires a voter referendum, which the district has targeted for January, actually voted on for January. And the interesting thing that arose in the Nyack School District meeting is that two of the 7 board members dissented over the vote to move forward on the portion of setting the voting date, because they are not able to hold a vote with absentee ballots or mail-in ballots. Whereas in South Nyack, the vote that will be coming up in December, they are able to do so. And I took a little look at this, and it's interesting. The governor's executive order only extends through January 2021 to towns and villages and 2 specific school districts, New York City and Buffalo. So the village of South Nyack can hold its referendum on the incorporation of the village into Orangetown with mail-in ballots, and you don't need to be sick. It's just simply that if you're fearful of COVID, you can apply for an absentee ballot or mail-in ballot. But the Nyack School District, unless they can get the governor to update the executive order or to alter the executive order, or I guess they'll probably try to seek some means of being able to hold this January election, January 19th, I think is the date, without the burden of having to hold a winter election in a closed environment as the virus, gets worse. Without giving, voters a safe way to have their voices heard. So, it was interesting that the two juxtaposing the 2 stories, thinking about the 2 stories side by side, it kind of revealed to me this glitch that I think that the governor should take up, so that we are not in any sort of a situation here in New York where we deprive voters the right to, the capability of voting safely. So just a little extra that came up this week.
All right. Well, if you want to see these stories, you have. How long do you keep stories on your?
Forever.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, they start up at the top. The latest news, and they flow over, but they're also categorized below in several categories that they pertain to. So you can always find these stories, but more importantly, sign up for our free newsletter. Go on the site. It says newsletter sign up, 7 a.m. every business day. All you have to do is put your email address. We don't collect any other data, and then you can get 1 to 2 news stories every single day, Monday through Friday.
Okay, and we just go to RCBJ.com.
Yep, and right there, right below the latest stories, you'll see it's right there on the screen. You'll see it says email address. You just put your email address in, and then starting tomorrow, you'll see this. We don't overload your mailing box. Just 1 email a day with just the latest or two latest stories. So it's a great way to keep up with what's going on in Rockland County.
All right, Tina, thank you, and we'll talk to you next Monday.
All right, have a great holiday.